Hi, this is the Deck Network, and I'm your host, Mike Danzilio, and we have our co-host today.
Live from WBAB Radio, Matt Dalton. Glad to be here. Really excited about today's video, Mike. First of all, we're still cleaning up from one of the worst storms we've ever seen here in the eastern seaboard.
This Hurricane Sandy was...
no joke.
It just doesn't end. And I got a picture here that Matt sent me.
You know, I've met a lot of women full of hot air. Sandy's one of the ones that takes the cake, though.
Yeah,
she was just...
Well, let's look at this picture here. And
this is wild.
And look at the size of this tree. Matt's standing next to it.
I'm like 5'10", to put it all into perspective here.
And look at this is the root, and it pulled up the grass like a carpet. Yes. I didn't know you went to Harvard.
Yeah, well, John Harvard's a great restaurant on Long Island.
All right, so that's on our last show that you were on.
Have you been getting a lot of feedback from people either responding to the videos, asking questions, were their decks affected by this storm?
Oh, well, a lot of decks have been just demolished.
Is this where you see the true strength of how the deck was put together, if it withstands a storm?
Now, we use hurricane ties, and you use them on your deck.
I was asking you as the storm was coming in, I'm like, Mike, I hope these ties live up to their names as a friggin' hurricane's coming in.
A hurricane tie is for wind. It's for uplift on the wind. Now, a wave or a tidal surge that comes from a hurricane. Now, this particular storm that we had on Long Island, where we are, the storm kind of went a little south. It hit directly in, I guess it was Staten Island. So they got about a 12-foot storm surge, and we got about an 8-foot storm surge. But that's certainly enough to, I heard that there was 3,500 decks in Nassau County just gone, and in Suffolk County there's probably more because it's just a larger, more spread out area.
And then you also, if you're factoring in bulkhead, all the houses that were affected up and down on the south and north shore of Long Island.
One of my friends who does bulkhead work and pier work and dock work, he says that the decks, they're not smashed, they're gone. They just they got pushed away by the wave, they picked up and just floated away. When the tide went back out, they were gone. These decks, 2,000 square foot decks, are just gone. There's nothing left of them.
Are we going to expect decking to be washing up in the Galapagos Islands or something like that?
Maybe. Yeah, some of these
you see a seagull surfing on some AZAC down the shore, you know where it came from.
And that stuff will float because it's a cellular PVC product.
But in all seriousness, a lot of people have been affected, and you guys know how to make the donations to FEMA and a lot of local efforts.
And on our last video, Matt was here, and you weren't even living in your house at the time. You didn't have power.
We had to evacuate. Power is one of those things you really take for granted. When you don't have it, you need it. Trust me.
Everything is tough. Power. And
we had some casualties. Nothing structurally to my house, but I'm an avid tropical fish keeper. I have a 125-gallon freshwater fish tank, and I suffered over 10 dead angelfish without filtration and heater. They didn't make it. That, as well as we had to empty out 2 refrigerators worth of food that went bad. I had to throw out over 2 cases of beer, Mike. That went scot.
Isn't that alcohol abuse for you, Irishmen?
It was a very emotional day for me. To see that happen was bad,
But that's the way it is. I've been in lots of hurricanes. I've lived on the coast my entire life. I've almost studied hurricanes, and this was one of the worst ones. I happen to have been in Cancun in 1989, and we had a Category 5 hurricane come right over the top of us. I went outside, and it was the eye of the storm, and it was not no wind, not a cloud in the sky. You could see the stars, and about 10 minutes later, all hell broke loose again. It sounded like a jet plane right next to it.
Does that happen often in Cancun? I can picture it being like an afternoon shower for them.
Category 5 hurricanes aren't very common, but when you get near one, it'll leave a lasting impression on you. All right, let's get back to the video here today.
Good stuff
today we're going to talk about a company called Fastenmaster, and I think they're in Agawam, Massachusetts, and they make a lot of different products.
To call yourself a master at something, they must be doing something right.
What they do is their best product, I feel, is their product called Cortex. These little plugs that go into non-grooved decking, and of course they purchased a company called Tigerclaw either last year or the year before, which makes the little clips. So let's just
rewind a second, Mike. I'm just a stupid homeowner / radio guy. Non-grooved decking, quickly.
Okay. Your deck on your house is non-groove decking. That's why we use the camo tool on it.
Okay.
We groove decking.
Camo tool featured in the last video we did. Check it out if you haven't yet. It was a really good link we put up there.
A grooved deck board is one that has a little groove in it for the clips. You just watch the Deck Network. You're going to see grooved decking everywhere.
One more prominent than the other? Are people coming in for more non-grooved than grooved, or?
We sell 95% of the decking that goes out of here is groove decking. Yes,
okay.
People. I think people they like the idea of the groove decking. When I'm selling decking and I say, well, this product is a groove product and this one is a non-groove product, well, then they say, well, how do you keep it down? We'll use the Cortex, or they use the Hid Fast that we saw in a previous episode, or the camo tool. People just seem to like this other one. So let's get into this video.
Hi, we're at the Fastenmaster booth at Dick Cort's Deck Expo.
And his friend of mine, Anthony DeSanto from Fastenmaster. This is the first time we've met, but we've been going back and forth on emails for months now. We've been trying to do a video like this.
Great to connect.
Yep, so here we are. Anthony, take it away. Show us what you got. I know you have a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, so basically what we're talking about today is a complete hidden fasten deck. What that means is that very often there's times where homeowners will request a hidden fasten deck, but their stairs, their perimeter boards, it's where areas where hidden fasteners just couldn't work at the time. They don't hide boards on the stairs or perimeters. So what we've created is a combination of your clips, very quick to install in the field of the deck, as well as Cortex. By combining them, you have a completely hidden fasten deck. The entire surface of it, inclusive of your stairs, are completely hidden. So that's what we're going to showcase today.
Okay, let's do it.
So first starts with Cortex. Today we're installing the clear clips. It's a fastening system that goes into the groove of the decking, as well as their brand of Cortex. And so Cortex is really a three-part system, Mike. It is comprised of a setting tool that's going to put this screw below the surface about 1/4 of an inch every single time. There's no pre-drilling on it, and it goes in beautifully. Disengages and it creates a nice clean hole in the decking board there.
Okay, so we have a perfect hole here. It didn't use any pre-drilling, didn't do anything. The hole itself was cut by the proprietary screw.
Exactly. And everything comes in the box here. This is a box of 100 lineal feet. So now also inside are these little plugs. The plugs are actually made of the same exact board material. So they're going to have the grain on them. They're going to look exactly, you know, you can sit there, you can kind of orient the grain and make sure it looks nice. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm just going to grab a hammer, give it a couple taps, and now it disappears.
Yep.
So that really secures your first board. Now we're going to get to, that's a little exciting, right? That's pretty cool stuff.
That's great.
So now we're going to get into the Tigerclaw installation gun, which really delivers the installation benefits, the time savings installation benefits. It does about 400 square feet of decking in an hour. And what it does, I'm just going to throw my safety glasses on here. Get this out of the way. Hook up our air hose. Before I hook up the air hose, I'm going to tell you about the product that it's shooting. This is the clear clip, so it's a clip stainless steel fastener that actually goes into the groove, and the thing is it's actually going to go into it. As it goes in, the upper prongs are going to bite into it, and what's firing through it is this thing called a scrail. Shoots in like a nail, backs out like a screw if you ever need to back it out. So it's firing through this Tigerclaw pneumatic gun, and the cool thing is that these clips fit right onto the nose piece of the gun. So it holds it right in place, and I'll fire one in here and show you how fast it is. Excuse me for a second, Mike. Again, up in the clip, down, fire it in, and you just keep going. One of the cool things, though, is that it actually gaps your board. It automatically gaps your board. So you just slide this next one in, and 3/16 gap consistently over the course of your boards. So really, Mike, what we just showcased today was the hidden fastening system, a complete hidden fastening system by combining your clips and your Cortex. So if someone wants a hidden fasten deck and they don't want to see any fasteners on the surface, first board, last board, stairs with your Cortex, Tigerclaw clips, this one specifically being for clear fasteners here, and very fast installation with your Tigerclaw gun, and a beautiful finished product.
Great job.
One of the other things I'll just quickly talk to you about, as we walk over here, you know, we really do have a pretty extensive line. What we've been doing, Fastenmaster's been partnering with different board manufacturers like Trex, like TimberTech, like Clear, like Clubhouse, all these market-leading brands out in the market to be able to offer that complete hidden fasten look. So you have your clips, you have your Cortex, and it's really what the market's been demanding.
We certainly know that.
So
what's next?
That's the hidden fastening. Now let's talk about the substructure underneath you here. So, one of the newest fasteners for Fastenmaster is part of our lock line. Our lock line is a structural line of fasteners that basically meet code and lower cost for an installer. So when you're building a substructure of a deck, you want to do it very quickly, you want to do it effectively, but you also want to meet code. This product is called Through Lock, which takes the place of a 1/2-inch carriage bolt. Mike, I know that you've probably installed a couple posts here before, and instead of getting a long auger bit, drilling through, hammering in your carriage bolt, and then ratcheting it tight, we have this product called Through Lock. And what Through Lock is, it comes pre-assembled like this. It's a 1/2-inch carriage bolt replacement. You would untwist your cap here. The tip, if you can kind of see that, it's split. It's a split tip action, which is actually going to do two things. It's going to bore out the material as well as drive the fastener in. As you drive it through, the threads will stick out about 1/4 of an inch, and the nut that it comes with has been tapped for wood threads with teeth going the opposite direction. So you literally hand tighten on one side, finish your drive on the other, and it will pull everything nice and tight together. There's no need for additional tools. A standard cordless drill will install it pretty quickly.
All right, that's pretty good stuff, and that has plenty of different uses. I see you have it not only on your posts, inside and outside. You're using them. If you can get down in here, and Kevin, you can see that we have a 6x6 post that's notched for a double 2x, and he's using it again to hold the post and beam together.
Really, it comes in 3 different sizes. If you want to go to a 2x to 4x, it's a 6 1/4-inch fastener. Some guys like to do a double blocking, so a 2 2x's to a 4x would be an 8-inch. And then the application here that Kevin's looking at, the notch 6x carrying beam, is actually a 7-inch fastener.
Yeah, because we always want to have 2 points of fastening, so this is going to give it here. All right, Anthony, got anything else for us?
You know, the last thing I'll just mention on Through Lock is it comes in, again, 3 sizes, 2-pack quantities, 6-pack for kind of like a here and there post filling in, 24-pack for, you know, your larger projects. The last thing I'll say, Mike, is I told you that it meets code and it lowers cost. So every time you open up this box of product, you're going to get a technical bulletin inside. And this technical bulletin addresses your IRC, IBC code compliance up top. It talks about the fastening pattern, and then our ACQ approval on the back.
Great job.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, great to see you.
Yeah, great to see you as well.
That's it.
All right,
Matt. That was
Thank you very much.
That was pretty.
Video.
That was pretty seamless. How that looks from an aesthetic standpoint. Those plugs are pretty cool.
They don't come out.
I was going to ask you about the durability of them. What's it like in regards to withstanding the elements with these plugs?
Well, they're made from the decking itself. So
Okay.
they get in, they buy units of decking just like I do.
And they can match any color of decking that you're working
they
with?
don't have every color. They have the most popular colors of decking, the most popular brands. They get a piece of deck board and they send it to a planer to get it to the proper thickness, and they punch it through from the backside because it's tapered. The top part is a little wider. Then it's like a funnel or an ice cream cone. So it's wider at the top and narrower at the lower part. And when you tap that in, that thing doesn't come out.
Well, what about if you want to take it out? If you have to replace a plank or
That's
something
a
like
very
that?
good question. I get that all the time. If you use a very sharp screw, usually if you look at the tip of a screw, like a deck screw, it has a little line on it. That's called a 17 point. That makes it much sharper. You with a screw gun, put it in there, and you just go right into that Cortex. It just jumps right out. Immediately comes right out. And then we saw the Tigerclaw gun. Now, Steve from Easy Decks.
Great guy.
His worker, Robin, can put these things down so fast. He can do 400 square feet as faster than he can. It takes 2 guys to keep putting the decking down, and he runs
keep up with them.
Yeah, and he runs around and putting these clips in there, and it does a real nice job.
I think the Deck Network should do some sort of decking Olympics where it's a competition in regards to who can get it down the fastest, and a lot of different categories. Maybe for the summer months, we'll work on something like that.
That'll be another one. But that's about it. You can keep your cards in the letters. I don't know about cards. No one sends any cards anymore.
This is 2012.
Yeah, everything is email now, and we get a lot of emails. I'll talk about some of them on the air. Some of them are just kind of funny ones.
And if you want a topic to be covered here on the Deck Network, send in the request for it, because we love getting that feedback from you guys, and that's really the lifeblood of these videos that we're doing. And we'll definitely love to get your feedback and kind of answer some of your questions as we move forward.
I wanted to tell the viewers a little bit more about Matt. Matt sells radio ads.
Airspace.
Yes, and so
I literally sell air. Can you believe it?
And he gets me to pay quite a bit for air.
We've been able to really hone in on the market where Mike is trying to reach, and it happens to be a high concentration of contractors and builders listening to the radio station. And throughout the years, we've been able to grow his business not only through the radio advertisements, but just from different ways in regards to how he could super serve his customers.
Now, Matt has been on the radio. He was on the morning show.
Face for radio. Started out in the business on air. Kind of transitioned into the sales side of it. Yes, I did sell my soul. No, just kidding. But no, it was more of a career sort of thing for me. But I was able to, at that point, take my passion for not only radio, but working with businesses to try to increase their market share, like what we've been doing here with Mike here on Long Island.
Yeah, and Matt's got a lot of real creative ideas. We'll
some out of the box stuff. You know,
out of the.
Some of it maybe not safe for this show, but we'll talk about that on another avenue or something like that.
Okay, well, that's about it for today's episode of the Deck Network. Mike signing off, and
Matt out of here.
Have a great day, folks.
Peace.